And welcome to another episode of the Football Smack Talk Show. I am your host, Ryan.
I'm Eric.
All right. Welcome in, everybody, to another wonderful Wednesday here on the show. Thank you all for joining us here today. Philly Sports Go Boom. 2026 draft is going to be lit. 5 picks in the first 2 days. We'll get to it in a little bit, but I think everyone who has looked into the draft knows that next year's draft is going to be is certainly going to be better than this year's draft, and I'm surprised Howie didn't kind of make more effort to gather even more picks to kind of maneuver around for next year. But I digress. Eric, let's just lead off the show with the number one story here. The Eagles drafted a freaking linebacker in the first round. I mean, how many times have I wanted a linebacker, and how many times have I been disappointed?
Yeah. So the last time the Eagles took a linebacker in the first round was 1979. So I'd say every draft since then, you've been disappointed, including the two that you weren't born for.
Yeah, I knew there was something up with those drafts. So yeah,
Yeah.
I have been wanting a linebacker ever since. I've fallen in love with a linebacker every year, and every year it's our turn to draft. Said linebacker right there slips through the fingers. It's it's a lot of
So I
heartbreak.
got to ask you, when was the first time that you really what was the first linebacker that made you fall in love with it?
Oh wow. You're asking me what linebacker made me fall in love with linebackers. Jeez.
Yes.
I mean, obviously, somebody like Seth Joyner, I think, has to come to mind. Outside of the Eagles, I would say somebody like a Mike Singletary. Absolutely loved him, and
My answer, yeah.
yeah, I mean, and then throughout the years, I mean, again, we haven't had a lot in Eagles history. The Trotters of the world. Trot was probably the last linebacker, I guess I can truly say, prior to Zach Bond, that I was, happy with the results, right? I'm trying to think of anybody in the middle.
Yeah.
I can't really think of anybody in the middle. So, but yeah, I've always been a fan. They're like Patrick Willis. I mean, you know me. I the only two NFL jerseys out of the 94, I believe I currently have of Eagles jerseys. But in my entire lifetime, there have only been two Eagles jerseys or two jerseys that were not Eagles jerseys. And those two were linebackers. And it was Sean Merriman of the Chargers and Lofa Tutupu from the Seattle Seahawks. Only two jerseys I ever owned that weren't Eagles. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. I'm shocked there weren't more, but I don't know. Something about it.
So I take it somehow you survived the backflip.
Yeah. Phil checking in. Eagles still the beast of the NFC, but a lot of teams got closer. I mean, listen. Yeah, I mean, sure. There were a lot of teams that got better.
It's natural to feel that way this time of year. Yeah.
But I mean, let's be honest. Who were outside of the Eagles?
Well, think about it. When was the last time that you really felt like the Super Bowl team won the draft?
Right. It's a rarity. for sure.
Mhm.
But who are the other Eric? And I'll ask you, and certainly to the people here. What are the other top five besides the Eagles teams in the NFC in your opinion?
Top 5 teams in the NFC, sans the Eagles. Okay. Obviously, Detroit is right there. The Rams. Um, after Detroit and the Rams, I would say Minnesota, maybe. I mean, I feel like they improved a lot. Um,
Commander?
and then yeah, Commanders. I mean, sure, they had a good off. They've had a good off season,
Packers?
not just draft. Yeah, the Packers. Yeah, okay, that's my 5.
Okay. Yeah, and I'm not necessarily asking like what teams had the best draft, but are there out of those? I think we actually named
Right.
five rather than four, but out of those teams, um, did any of them have like such a draft that you were like, oh crap, like, ooh, we gotta watch out for them now?
I don't know that I really reacted that way to anybody's draft.
Well said. I think I
Like,
kind
I
of
don't
agree
think
with
anybody had that kind of, blow your socks off kind of draft.
you. Yeah.
I mean, I thought the Giants did a decent job.
Yeah, I mean, listen, that was kind of foolproof when you take an Abdul Carter. Um,
Sure. But I mean, they had to be smart enough to do it. There was the temptation there to go with the quarterback. But
sure, and
I
they
think when they realized they weren't going to take Shador, I think it was just okay. Well, let's get the best player at this pick, and then let's try to trade back in later and take Jackson Dart because you weren't going to take Dart at 3.
oh god no, that would have been funny. Not gonna lie, but the thing
Like that
is,
would have been irresponsible. Yeah,
well, sure. When you look at the Giants, though,
I love it.
they're prior to the draft, you would say the strength of their team was their defensive line. And I get it.
Sure.
You can't really, pass up an opportunity on an Abdul Carter, but it's just kind of funny that now you kind of have a little too much going on there and a whole lot of nothing elsewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like the defense is either they're going to get sacks or they're going to give up 40 points a game.
Yeah, or probably both.
Yeah.
Um, all right, so Jihad Campbell. Many thought, this was a top 15 guy.
Sure.
And the Eagles got him at 31. There was, rumors that they were trading up at 22 with the Chargers. A deal was already in place. They just got it in a little too late for whatever reason. And the Chargers ended up taking their pick. But all accounts were that they were trading up for Jihad,
Mhm.
and they were patient, although they did try to trade up with multiple other people. And they finally traded up with the Chargers, or I'm
Yeah.
sorry, the Chiefs, who
Or the Chiefs,
was,
yeah.
yeah, it was more of a, hey, I just want to prevent anybody else from jumping us to grab this pick. So they gave up a fifth. They probably overpaid,
Right.
maybe, for a one spot up, but whatever. No one really cares. Um, so they got their guy, and now you combine him with Zach Bond. Now he does have the shoulder issue. A lot of people, and the reason why he fell is I think was medical reasons.
Sure.
A lot of people were, a little more concerned about the shoulder than others. There was one, maybe there was a few teams that said something about his knee that they could see down the line having degenerative issues, but the Eagles didn't feel that way, right? And you know, you're not going to take a guy if you don't think, you know, he's going to be there to play out or at least start a second contract, right? Why draft a guy in the first round?
Well, right. And I think the reason you're not drafting a guy in the first round that you don't see can make it to a second contract. And Campbell, you're not necessarily just taking him for the 2025 season. Now, he might come into it a little injured and might need some time to recover, rehab. But you're taking him for 2026 and beyond. Like, that's what you're really shooting for. And that's where you're going to get the production out of Jahan Campbell.
Right. Right. Sorry. That's me, by the way.
I know. I thought I did something to upgrade my internet, and it still sucks.
It's so bad.
I apologize. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Like, I really don't know. Like, I mean, I called up. I called up Verizon. They said that they upgraded something, and it doesn't appear to have made any change.
No, it doesn't. I'd call them back and be like, "Brah,
No.
what'd you do? Because you didn't do it."
Like, honestly, like, this is embarrassing at this point. It is utterly humiliating that they're making me look like a douche, like a hack. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. That's what they're making me look like.
Oh man. Eric upgraded from dial-up to mobile hotspot.
Yeah, dude, you're not lying. Like, I don't even know what to say at this point. Like, they charge me $115 a month for this crap. Like, you got to be kidding me.
I love how you pay more for internet, and I literally called
That
them
is
up.
absolute dog shit. Like, sorry, I apologize to dog shit everywhere. Like,
yeah, I called up again a couple weeks ago because I was having some issues with my cell phone, and I have Verizon. And somehow we got talking about the internet, and they were like, "Oh yeah, looks like you're on like this whole plan. We can up your speeds and send you some Wi-Fi extenders or something." And they sent me this like huge package with stuff, and that's what I told you to do. But they were just like, whatever. I'll just tell this idiot, "Whoa, we'll flip a switch. You'll be fine."
yeah, yeah. Well, the switch, whatever, bro. You're good. Fuck you. Pay me. Yeah, that's pretty much what it was.
Yeah. Too funny.
They pretty much Goodfellas me. They're just like,
Yeah,
yeah,
they kind of
fuck
did.
you, pay me.
They kind of did.
Yeah.
Oh man, I will never, ever, ever, ever not love doing this kind of stuff. Anyway, moving on. Second round, we ended up grabbing Texas boy Andrew Makuba, safety, formerly of Clemson.
That's my dude.
Yeah, absolutely love this dude. Loved him, Clemson, and certainly enjoyed his seasons at Texas. Eagles Eric, new to the Eagles Pin Pull Network. Cannot wait for your new show to Jap. I believe tomorrow, if I remember correctly from this morning. Says Eric's internet speed is measured in gigabytes per century. Nice. I like that. See, it's too slow to even respond.
Yep. I mean, please pour it on. Pour it on, guys. I love it. I actually do appreciate it because, like, it just I'm angry, but I appreciate everybody chiming in with the funny quips about it. Like, I actually do. I really do.
Yeah. I think, now hear me out here, and I think I've probably have suggested this multiple
I'm angry
times.
more about the accuracy. Yeah.
Yeah. So while we have Eagles Eric, we could transition to you to like an angry Eric. And then you just
angry Eric's getting there.
Oh, I know, but I'm just saying you run at 100 at all times and just fly off the handle just like that. I think that would be gold. Just saying. And we wait.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. All right. So drafted a safety in the second round. Now I know some people were kind of wanting an Xavier Watt.
The internet, really, it's your world. It's your world, internet. Your fucking world.
And we have Angry Eric.
Angry Eric's here.
Oh boy.
Oh.
I feel like if a couple more people were to poke the bear, we could really get a nice freak out moment here. I'm just saying. I'm not gonna say anything. We're just gonna let whatever happens with the people happens with the people.
You're not trying to prompt it, but guys, it could be funny, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just saying, listen, I'm all for the comedy of this show. I realize that, listen, there are other shows out there that you're probably going to get a lot more stats or information. Eagles Eric is probably a great example of that. His new show, I guarantee you're going to learn a lot more crap, a lot more than you will here. But you're certainly going to laugh your ass off with us. We're going to tell some stories. We're going to basically just kind of be those bros at the bar that they end up talking to. So that's our goal. So, and if one thing we all know is that bros love to bust bros balls. So, please, how about it? I should do it this way, I guess, right? Anyway, we'll see what happens.
I hate you so much right now.
Yep, I know you do. So in the third round, Howie decided to get a little crazy, and he started trading back. And man, there were so many good. Watts actually made it to the third round, which the goes to show you, man. Wish we would have grabbed somebody else maybe, and then with Watts, and obviously you don't ever want to kind of play revisionist history, but he traded back twice there. There was thought that maybe he was going after Charles Grant. But then, why would you have traded back in the first place? Just take your guy. So he traded back. Maybe he thought he was going to be cute. Traded back. Dude wasn't there. Then he traded back again out of the third round completely. So we waited all that time just to, on Friday night, just to get told to go to bed. Then, again, he was.
Thankfully, it was on a Friday night. So
right. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, he was wheeling, dealing fourth and fifth round, and he ended up getting a bunch of picks. He's first selected Ty Robinson, which I absolutely love. Right now I think they have him listed right now as an edge. But again, it's kind of that 3-4. So who knows? Yeah. He's versatile. He can kind of play all over. Perhaps he'll be backing up, somebody like Moro Jomo. But it'll be interesting to see. Fun fact about him, his nickname, Vanilla Gorilla. Thoughts, Eric, on Vanilla Gorilla?
Okay.
Yeah. We just hopefully added another exciting way. So, Eagles Eric.
I don't really
have. Sorry.
Hey, that's what I'm hoping.
Yeah, light travels faster than sound, so we'll see how angry Eric is several seconds before we hear it. Yeah, you would think, but I think the video is freezing just enough that you'll hear it before you.
I don't move very fast.
And also that. Q loved it. But yeah, I really do like this Ty Robinson pick. Getting him in the fourth round, I thought was a great selection. Then things kind of get a little crazy. We go into the fifth round and we select 100 people. One of which is Mac McWilliams, which I will be first to admit I don't know a lot about Mac McWilliams. And there were a few players there that I really was hoping to get. A Braden Swinson was there, to name,
Mhm.
some others. So I am wanting to kind of dive in, and learn a little bit more about him. So I'll kind of give that an incomplete grade if I'm grading things right now. Then we went ahead and selected a bunch of offensive linemen. Drew Kendall being one of them. We ended up with Miles Hinton from Michigan and Cameron Williams from Texas, which is my favorite offensive lineman that we selected. Again, I know
Yep.
a lot more about him. He's raw. He's a big dude. But enter him into Stoutland U, and
Mhm.
let's see kind of what we get. Eric, you watched more Texas games than anybody on the Eagles
Yes.
Pinhole Network. Thoughts on Cameron Williams?
Well, I think you touched on it. He's raw, but he's a big dude. He's very physical. Does not shy away from contact. Like he will road grade you, and I think he's gonna excel at Stoutland U.
Well, good. We are certainly hoping he turns into either nice swing tackle. Perhaps they Mackay Becton him, kick him inside, and see if he's able to kind of handle that.
Yeah, no, he could play anywhere on the line. Yeah,
Yeah, well,
absolutely. He could play tackle or guard.
all right. Well,
Yeah.
I would love to see him at guard. Maybe give that a try and see if we can't pull a little magic like we did last year. And considering you have a Tyler Steen, a guy who's been here for a couple of years now, who really hasn't kind of grasped the opportunity.
Sure.
You have somebody whatchamacallit, like Kenyon Green, that we traded for a former first round pick from Houston in the CJ Gardner Johnson trade. You have somebody like
Right.
a Trevor Keegan, who's kind of still sitting there. Matt Pryor, I'm sure could fight for a little bit, but there's not a lot of great options. Basically, it seems like it's Tyler Steen's to lose, but that was what we said last year, and he lost it. So not really.
And he lost it.
Yeah, yeah, not really kind of liking our options here. So hopefully, a kick inside for Cameron Williams might add a little, needed camp battle, if you will. So, let's see. Who have I forgotten that we?
Yeah, and I gotta believe that the Eagles wouldn't take him if they didn't think he could do that.
Yeah. I would hope so as well. So, also in the fifth round, we grabbed another one of my guys, Smell Munden Jr. We got ourselves a Georgia linebacker. So absolutely love that. This is a guy that was, super highly rated coming into the year. Didn't have the greatest year at Georgia, some injuries. Certainly that is the concern there. But again, I think if he could stay healthy, I think we got ourselves a nice depth piece and somebody that, if Jihad's going to miss a little time and, with Nakobe Dean's uncertainty, might be able to fight for, some playing time early. So, you never know. Let's see who else. And then don't forget one of my favorite picks. This was actually the last pick of their draft. It was Antoine Powell Ryland, edge out of Virginia Tech. This is a guy that I think had 16 sacks over 2 seasons. Really excelled at getting to the quarterback. Again, I think under Vic Fangio, could be a nice addition to the rotation and kind of maybe slow play him, kind of like Alex Hunt, figuring himself out and finally getting in towards the end
Right.
of last year. So, and then who's the only one I didn't mention? Oh yeah, Kyle McCord. Forgot we drafted a quarterback. We now have 4 quarterbacks on the roster. Not really sure what to make of that.
Yeah,
You would think you
one
usually
won't be there.
what?
One won't be there after camp.
Well, right, but you would think that you don't draft a guy necessarily, again, it is a 6th rounder, but you would think you wouldn't draft a guy when you know there's no chance of him making the roster kind of thing. So, perhaps that means maybe they finally, turn Tanner McKee into something, draft picks maybe. But God forbid the Eagles fandom would riot if we traded away Tanner McKee. Everybody thinks he's, Joe Montana. Or maybe it's DTR. There's not a lot of, we don't really have anything invested in him, really. So I could easily see them getting rid of DTR, even though I actually do like him
No.
quite a bit. So, yeah. So there is your draft. Eric, what was your favorite pick?
Well, obviously the 2nd round pick of the safety, Makuba. That's my dude. I love that guy.
Yeah. All right, so you again watch more Texas than anybody. Tell us something about Makuba that maybe we don't know. Anything at all.
Yes. The guy's just a ball hawk. He's like every time I would watch a game when they were on defense, man, he was just always around the tackle. He was right there. He just had his nose in every play. And I like there was just something with though he plays with a chip on his shoulder, a little undersized. He's got a little bit of that Napoleonic complex. He plays with an attitude, and I love that. And I love that. That's what our defense played with last year. Like, how many times did you hear me come in on this network and tell you, man, the Eagles defense just played like they've been disrespected? And I think Makuba encompasses that. He plays the game like he's constantly been disrespected, and he won't back down. And I love it.
All right. Well, there you go. Now let's talk about.
He actually kind of like a good comp would be
With who?
a good comp would be CJGJ.
Yeah.
Only without the craziness.
Without the craziness. Love it. All right. Then we also grabbed a bunch of undrafted free agents. Taylor Morin, wide receiver. Holland Pierce, which is a big boy, big tackle from Rutgers that I was a big fan of that I wish they would have drafted, but glad that they got him undrafted. You grabbed a couple of running backs, Shunderick Powell and Montrell Johnson. You grabbed another linebacker in Lance Dixon, corner in BJ Mays, and you brought in safety, which is actually a former teammate of Quinyon Mitchell. Both went to Toledo. That's Maxon Hook, which is really cool to see. Another corner, Brandon Johnson. Yeah, so far I like where their heads are at. From what I also understand, they brought in they're bringing in Cameron Rucker, defensive end from UNC. That's the guy I had a 4th or 5th grade on. So good to see them adding more to that position as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So, but yeah, there you go. That is the kind of draft recap. They did earlier today. They did pick up the 5th-year option on Jordan Davis, which wasn't necessarily surprising. I figured they would try to work out a long-term, deal extension. But this way, this has him here for the next 2 years. You still have time to work on an extension, and so that's good to see Jordan Davis because he is amazing in the run game, honestly. And I think the only shocking thing is how little he played last year. It felt like his snaps went down. So I don't know whether it was more of a hey, that was more of a conditioning thing, or more of a hey, we were winning and they were, the offense were passing the ball more. I don't know. So hopefully, hopefully it gets in there a little bit more. Next big thing on the NFL
probably
schedule.
a combination of stuff.
Yeah, perhaps. Next big thing on the NFL schedule is the official schedule. May 14th.
Yes.
Cannot wait. Cannot wait.
Very excited for this. Yeah.
I'm
Gun to your head right now. Somebody had to say, who do you think the Eagles open up with?
Well, they would do a home game, right?
I know. With my internet cutting out, all you heard was gun to the head. Yeah.
They would have a home game if that's the case.
Yes.
So I don't think they do anything. Maybe Lions.
Yeah, I'm thinking either Lions or Rams.
Yeah, Rams would be certainly a good one. Considering they faced each other in the playoffs. I hope they don't do Commanders, because again, it's an NFC Championship rematch. I get it, but I just wouldn't want a Washington game that early. Yeah, but wait. So wait, that means our first game is a Thursday night, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Damn it. Well, I guess get it out early. Just have to take 2 days off for work again.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've already allotted, because my vacation kicks in on September 14th. My last 2 vacation days are gonna be that Thursday and Friday.
Hey, there you go. Gotta love that. Yeah, the only thing with the schedule I'll say is I really hope that the Green Bay game is early, because I really want to go to Lambeau this year.
I know. I'm really hoping for like a week 2.
Yeah, that would be we keep it before like mid-October. I'm good. I'll go.
Yeah, I always look at like Halloween is the absolute cutoff. Like nothing after that. Yeah.
All about our games. Yeah. Well, hopefully that's the case, because I know I will be looking at Philly sports trips. I know that a few of our buddies, we have some family friends in Chicago. So maybe we fly out to Chicago, kind of chill there, and then just kind of drive.
Yeah, it's an easy drive. That's what I did when I my one trip out there in 2007.
Nice.
Flew out to Chicago and then rode in. Yeah.
How long of a drive
is it? Like 2-3 hours or something. Yeah, like 2-3 hours, something like that.
That's
not bad.
Terrible. But still, like I would want. That's the thing. Like it's like I would want to be there all day for like the whole experience.
Right.
So, like I would be like, all right, guys, we're leaving at 4 a.m. Got to get to the tailgate.
Yeah, I'm in. Yeah.
All right, shit. Okay.
Absolutely. Let's go.
There we go. Hey, listen, maybe we can get some make it an Eagles pin pull network trip. We just got to talk to Vince and be like, hey,
that
Vince,
would be fun.
Yeah. Look it up. So but just checking my clock here. All right, so
that would
outside was that
a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, for sure. But all right, well, we're gonna save all of you folks from having to listen to and watch Eric on a time delay. Perhaps by the time we have our show next week, Eric will have called and reamed out that guy who told him, oh, it's just a little flip switch, and maybe gotten the whole home protection thing or whatever the hell I got, because now I can't even see him. He's so fuzzy. But thank you all for bearing with us. One of these days, Eric's going to figure out how the internet works. Appreciate everybody for chiming in. Philly Sports Go Boom. Phil, Q, Eric. Oh God, Q. Eric can stream from a local McDonald's. Probably would be better. Not gonna lie. All right, Eric, if you are still there with me, before we get out of here, do you have anything else to add? Okay, well, I think I just hear Eric moaning and groaning, and probably breaking stuff. Well, Eric, technically, I'll count that.
Anything I think would be better than this crap.
Yeah. I assume you cannot hear me. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Oh, you can hear me. Okay. Anything to add before we get out of here? All right. I guess Eric can't hear me now. Oh, there you are. Eric, can you hear me? I see you moving. All right. I'm going to give up on talking to Eric. Anyway, why don't we go ahead and
okay. I just got you yelling at me. I didn't know what else you said. Yeah.
Oh, okay. You can hear me now. All right. I'm going to stop trying. And basically, we're going to continue on ending the show and just putting us out of our own misery. I apologize. We'll get this figured out. The internet sucks. Anyway, thank you all for staying with us. But please make sure you check out all the other shows on the Eagles Pin Pull Network. We did some great draft coverage. Check that out. We got shows all this week. Chalk Talk was back earlier today. We got Eagles Eric. His first show is coming out tomorrow. Cannot wait to see that. And of course, all the other wonderful shows throughout the network. So we will see you guys next week. Hopefully a little bit better internet. If not, well, we'll just kind of all laugh and have fun then. And maybe, who knows, maybe Eric will stream from the local McDonald's. That might be better. But all right. So for the Football Smack Talk show, I am Ryan. That is Eric, who I have muted just in case. In case he freaks out and starts cursing. We will see you guys next week. Go Birds. And have a beautiful weekend. All right. Bye.